I bet that this question that came into our Ask the Rabbi column is one that more than one of you's been thinking about. So we thought we'd take the opportunity to answer it here. I give to charity regularly, yet I'm not seeing a blessing in return. What's wrong? Mike.
Well, yes. We've received variations on that question quite often, where people say, you know, I'm virtuous, I give to charity, I do all these good things, I support my church, I support ministry. So why am I struggling? What's going on there? Well, by way of answer, I hope you think this example is okay, Susan, but it's the one about the skyscraper. Can I tell that one? Yeah?
I'm lost, so tell it, and
all right. Well,
I will just cut you off if it's not appropriate.
Yes, I'm sure. And when you do, it's always for a good reason. So we'll go ahead. But yeah, this is the person who goes up to the the top floor of a 30-story building, climbs out of the window, and everyone's trying to hold him back. And he says, "Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. You know, I'm a virtuous person. I'm a good person. God will take care of me." And he steps out the window. And he has this very rapid journey down to the sidewalk, which ends in tragedy. And then he comes on and says, "I don't understand. Why did you take me, God?" Well, because God says, "Look, I set up a world, and I gave you a Bible because I want you to understand how that world really works. And I want you to operate within the systems and structures I've placed in that world." Even the children of Israel were told to step into the Red Sea, not to just stand praying on the beach. Stop praying, start marching, is what Moses said to the Israelites, because you've got to work with God. You've got to work with the way God set up the world. Gravity is a reality. And so, yeah, you got to understand that God set up a system of creating wealth. It is based upon the idea of his children serving one another. And the more ways you find to serve the more people, the better off you're going to be. That's one of the reasons that people can make more money in cities than they can in remote, isolated places, right? If you want to open up a business, you don't open up in Death Valley. You open it up where there are a lot of other people, because being able to serve other people is absolutely crucial. And so what we don't want you to do is fall into this trap of thinking that giving charity is, you used a great phrase when we were talking about this, you said pay for play, right?
Yeah, if every time I gave $1 to charity, I got a check in the mail from God for $2, that's not charity. And actually the Hebrew word for charity is tzedakah, which is actually justice. That money doesn't belong to you. God lets us work on a 90% commission. For every dollar we make, he allows us to keep 90 cents. 10 cents of that doesn't belong to us. It belongs to his other children. We've been the custodians. He made us the custodians to give it away. It's a yes, God does bless people who are giving and help each other. But again, you have to have a wide perspective, not that narrow perspective of, hey, I put $1 in the Salvation Army kettle, I should find $2 on the floor of the supermarket when I'm walking down the produce section. Doesn't work like that. And sometimes our blessings are invisible, and this goes back to gratitude, which is a theme we come back to all the time.
Important point. You can't tell.
You don't know. Maybe your blessing was that you were not in a head-on collision today. Maybe that was what was supposed to happen to you, and God blessed you and averted that tragedy. So anyone who says, I don't see any blessing, and they're giving charity, they're giving to others in order to see it, you've got a wrong perspective. You've got to switch your perspective around.
We think you'll be doing a whole lot better if you start focusing not on what comes back to you, but focusing on what you can do for God's other children. And until we're together for the next Ask the Rabbi program, Susan and I pray that you should be blessed by God with a week of good health and prosperity, and focus on everything else, because you can do it.